Hey there, ladies and gentle babies, Spazzy here, aka Syndromes. Welcome back to Avorion. Holy hell, what a freaking week. It is Wednesday morning, and by morning I do mean like 3:30 in the morning as I'm recording this video. Simply because this is the first time in the whole week that I actually have a chance to play the damn thing. And yeah, so I made a huge mistake in the previous few episodes, and I'm really glad that you guys pointed it out, and it concerns the way that I was looking at weapons, so that is going to be the first thing that I'm about to quickly take a look into, because it looks like I kinda was missing a crucial point about one of the updates that changed the way that weapons act in general. And right now, while we are still in the iron/titanium sectors, it's actually very prudent that I actually do something about it. Okay, so first of all, we are indeed back in our previous sector, and it looks like I'm actually going to... Yes, I know. If you could only let me actually select the dock, they'll be found. So here's Scouting McScoutface. Let's very quickly just redo the whole thing. There we go. Right, so one of the mistakes that I did was actually with Scouty with McScoutface, in the sense of I didn't actually finish the episode until I got to the next system. And that's a really bad thing, because, well, not the what I meant is, I didn't reach the next material as I promised, because the whole idea here was that I would not resort to using the scout ship, simply because it would make, you know, the game a little bit too easy. But the problem is, I actually should have gotten to that point where I could just, you know, get to the material and, you know, start exploring, because right now the idea was that I would stop, or either I would limit the time I would be using that ship with, and since I didn't reach that material in the previous episode, I'll have to do it like today, so I'll have to be using it 2 times in a row, but I have to specifically tell you that, hey, I'm not going to be doing that, you know, normally. Anyway, today's episode has a small checklist, so to speak, and one of them is to get Scouty McScoutface towards one of these wormholes, simply because we had some problems getting through here because of all the rifts, and it's really something that I never really considered, but the reason why we have so many wormholes and why, you know, they exist is because of these rifts in by itself. So we actually tried to go there and we couldn't pass like this area. So in general, what's going to happen is I will just outright need to tell this thing to, hey, like, go to this place with the wormhole and go for the wormhole. Now, the one thing I wonder is, do I actually get a way to go through, or will I have to actually control the ship myself? And I think the question is, the answer is the latter. Yeah, so, the one thing that I know what is happening right now is the fact that our mining drones are almost run out of stuff, or at least it should be 3 that is currently idle, simply because it does not in fact have that mining system on it. The only problem that I currently have with that is that this mining system is going to take all of its generated energy. And so my question is, do we have something that is not trinium? Because I really don't want to build these things up. There's absolutely no point in doing that. So, let's see. Nope. There is, in fact, no mining system. So this thing is just going to have to use one of these things that we bought here. Boop. There we go. And there goes the generated energy. Which is really a shame, because I was going to make sure that this thing remains nice and small. But alas, that is not really a possibility anymore. So, titanium generator. Let's just turn this into that. That is not enough. Edge armor. Iron engine. It's almost there. Yeah, acceleration is 0. I wonder why. I think that should be fine. It's kind of like an improvement, but not really. But it will just have to do for now. So orders and go mine. And there it goes. Alright, we have that covered. These mining drones are going to continue mining out the sector as much as they can. In the meantime, I'm going to very quickly explain what we're going to do with our Jerry the Junker. Because Jerry is in a very interesting situation right now, where it's actually the only ship that we do want to build up a little bit. Because the thing, the reason why I don't really care about the drones is that right now there is absolutely no rush towards me getting any sort of material. What I actually want right now is more systems, and Jerry the Junker is the only ship that matters in that regard. The point of Jerry is not to get more resources, but rather to break these ships down as quick as possible and get the, you know, the systems and turrets from them. So, let's see, where is the current shipyard? Jerry is actually right next to it. So I'm gonna tell it to go over there. And we're gonna very quickly just build up Jerry and give it a couple of interesting things, including hopefully a tractor beam. And yeah, after I have that done, we'll continue. Okay, so just like that, I upgraded Jerry just a little bit. Now, I'm going to be the first one to admit that visually speaking, this ship is very ugly, and I really did not put any effort in its design. But right now, the whole idea is that this thing has all of our salvage turrets on. It is going to munch through this place like a madman. And while I'm still here, and while I haven't forgotten, let's actually just go towards the scrapyard. We have 12 minutes. Let's just renew that thing to an hour and go salvage. Again, the whole point of Jerry, and there's a reason why I'm not ever going to use the R salvage turrets, and that's simply because, oh dear lord, that thing's slow. Okay, so the reason why it's slow is because it has absolutely no stopping power. So if I'm going to very quickly place down a few inertia dampeners just like this, I can also then place down a slightly larger version of the engine. There we go. There we go, something like this. Okay, and now it should be just a little bit zippier. Yeah, much better. So let's take a look, how quickly does this thing fare with this little chunk over here. And once I'm sure that, you know, it's doing its job fine without any issues, we're gonna be moving on. yeah, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. Alright, so, let's just do the do. We have, Scouty McScoutface over here. We're going to send this thing through the wormhole. And the reason why I'm currently controlling this thing is simply because there's physically no other way I can, you know, send it through the freaking hole. Or is there? That is a very good question. Oh dear. So, can I just... No, of course I can't. Of course, why would this thing... Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be better. The problem with Scouty is just the fact that it's slow as hell. In terms of, you know... The thing is, I set it up with the system detector, and obviously I'm not getting anything because, hey, that's not how it works. Like, I have to be inside the ship to actually see the readings from that ship's detector, which why we're just going through, like, we're just advancing through all these systems and doing it completely blindly. We don't even see the green sectors from our spot on the Indecisive. And that's really something I really don't like. But sadly, there is not a lot I can do about it. And there it goes. Ooh, wow. That is in fact far away. So my question is... how far can I go? I think this should be enough to actually be in the Neonite sector. Oh, screw it, let's just switch to it. Yeah, there we go. Subspace signals. Come on. Generate. Okay. So take a look at this. We are in a new nation. The ships of this nation... I don't actually... Oh yeah, we are definitely in the Neonite sectors. Okay, that is perfectly fine then. There is no connection here, though. So that's kind of odd. Epic. Bad. Trading Post Resource Depot. The only problem is that our relations with these guys are, in fact, bad. Which means that we cannot really conduct any business. So the whole point of even, you know, going here is kind of defeated then. You know, I say that just as I find a claimable asteroid. Let's try to get our reputation up with these guys a little bit so they can actually allow us to buy things off of them. Oh dear. Okay, so the good thing is we have a few missions here, and if I'm really lucky, some of these are going to have the liberate slave missions, so we can very quickly bump up our reputation with these guys. And the reason why I'm really so focused on it right now is simply because I want to get this out of the way so we can focus back on the Indecisive. Also, holy hell, these guys have railguns. That's gonna be interesting. I'm really looking forward to bringing back some sort of high-tech thingy-madig. Oh, look at it go. Boom. Just like that. Oh, okay. So, I just noticed something. These guys, when destroyed, do drop Neonite. I will have to apply that limitation right now where I cannot use it. I have to sell it off. I can only use Neonite once I complete my current objectives and actually exit the current area, so as to not ruin it. Oh, tractor beam. This is definitely something that is going to be very good for Jerry. Now, where did the other thing go? He got booped. And I lost sight of it. Did I lose sight of it? I think I did. Oh well, no harm done. So, I'm looking for liberate slaves. Might be easier said than done. Yeah, these guys are not gonna allow me to trade with them just yet. I can take a look. Oh wow, it's far away. It is actually far away. What about you? Medical supplies, aluminum. Yeah. It looks like we'll have to actually do something very quickly as possible, to just get the reputation of these guys up, because the whole point is to you know, be able to just import some high-tech stuff from these guys. Oh. Oh. This would actually be very, very good. But it's not something that I should do. So the funny thing is, like, I have neutral, but my relations with these guys are more neutral than these guys. So I think I'm going to just go to see what these guys are about. Simply because their reputation with me is actually better. Like, it's actually better right now. So it's gonna take less effort for me to get the needed standing to actually start doing trading with them. Man, Jerry would have a field day here. And the thing is, Jerry currently has no titanium turrets. So that means we could, technically speaking, leave it here in this system. And it's not like it's going to take any, you know, neonite. But since the rules do apply only towards this ship, and that's the reason why we were here in the first place, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, we don't have to bend any more rules just for the sake of making things easier for ourselves. That's kind of not the point. Holy hell, what's going on here? Orbor Syndicate. Well, that's unfortunate. Shall we just not be here? man, that's a lot of good salvage over there, but... Oop. I just reversed through the gate. Whoops. Oh. My bad. That is not something I wanted to do, but I did regardless, and so, whoops. Okay, ladies and gents. Oh! Ah. Okay, Syndicate. I'll remember this. Spansy is gonna remember this. Freaking betrayal, man! Yes, I do want to reconstruct the damn thing. Oh boy. That's just how it is, this thing. Okay, so, needless to say, Syndicate is operating in this place. That is fair enough. I'm actually going to tell the Indecisive to kind of... just start making its way over there. Start exploring on its own. But, yeah. Okay. Enough is enough. So, the whole scouting thing didn't work out in the way that I wanted it to. And the way I wanted it to do... It's 3 in the morning, Jesus Christ. The way I wanted it to was to go there myself and just dedicate a episode every 10 episodes to find and explore as much as I can. It looks like in that particular side of the galaxy it's going to be very hard to do, simply because there is just a lot of stuff there. Well, stuff I really don't want to do. So, I think we are just going to probably actually just straight up disassemble this thing, because it's taking up valuable resources that I could really put somewhere better to use. So, I'm gonna just remove this, and it'll be just fine. Just like that. So, yep, there was the Scouty McScout face. Didn't really live for too long, did it? But that's to be expected. Anyway, ladies and gents, our current situation is kind of... yeah. So this is definitely going to be our next expansion. After we're done with this sector, like this nation, and we can actually advance towards the, you know, the next material, we're probably going to go here, towards the Church of Quinnenert. Because it looks like it's a very dangerous place right now, and I want to see what exactly we can do with it. But until we actually do that, we still have the missions for Izzy. So I think what's going to happen now is I'm going to kind of just stop here for a while, and after that we're going to do the family mission, after we, you know, explore all of this. And after we do that, we are just going to go through the exploration part so that we can actually start moving off to the next one. But before I do that, I am somewhat tempted oh dear, what did you do? Don't do that. I'm just kind of tempted to where are you? To have a look-see as to what we can do with these turrets of ours. Because until recently, I thought, hey, I'm just going to go use only the chain guns. Right? But I think we don't really have to. So we do have some bolters. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but in the current state, like with the current materials that we're up against and no shields, having these things instead might actually be much more beneficial for us. Perhaps even making them would be far more beneficial for us. I'm actually very tempted to buy a few bolter turrets. Oh, that's strange. Here we go. So this one is going to go for defensive. Equip. Yeah, it's kind of far. I think I'm actually just going to buy 2 bolters off of the equipment dealer and just be done with it. Probably gonna be for the best. And so here we are back at the starting place. Arb slots. Yay. And that's about it, but that is not what we're looking for. We are actually looking for turrets. Actually, that does remind me, I didn't really check. No, it looks like we did not, in fact, pick up anything interesting from those sectors while we were there. I was kind of hoping that we might stumble upon something during those battles, but I only picked up systems instead of turrets, sadly. So, got any bolters? Yeah, there we go. So, I'm just going to buy 2 of these. And that's going to be perfectly fine. In 20 minutes, this thing is going to refresh. I'm actually finding more chain gun turrets, and that's kind of sad, since I'm not going to be using them in a moment. There is still the possibility that I could disassemble them, turn them into something more interesting. Yeah, our firepower definitely has dropped, but it's not taking into account the bonus that you get for anti-hull things. And I think that in the end that's going to be a better choice. Alright, ladies and gents, I think this is going to be enough for this episode. Needless to say, I'm half asleep, and looking back, I think that trying to record something now was a bit of a mistake on my part, because I sound kind of terrible right now. But in the next episode, not only we're going to go over here towards the family mission, but we're also going to start exploring every single system that are in these sectors. So again, just a reminder, in order to get out of here, we have to explore every single hidden mass signature within the borders. So for example, I would have to check out these places, but not these. Once that is done, we can move to the next sectors, and I think it's probably going to be the church rather than the Lipith. Although the Lipith, I like the name more, if I'm completely honest, but these guys are in war with the Syndicate, or at least one of the syndicates. So, might be interesting to see what I can do with that. Anyway, thanks for watching, ladies and gents, and I'll see you in the next episode.